A day of studying done. I was in Japan, right? And there's some things in Japan that I miss. Like the red bean bread. Like it's just bread with butter and a red bean paste. And I miss that. And there's also melon soda. And I miss that. It's very good. But something that I missed while I was in Japan, that I'll probably miss when I go back home, banana milk. I'm going to have myself some banana milk. Banana uyu. I'm very excited, and tonight I'm going for barbecue, so you'll see a snippet of that. It's gonna be like 2 seconds. Will it be of meat? Will it be of fire? Will it be of sam? Will it be of bantan? Would it be of beer? Who knows, but I'll probably have a snippet of something. And then on to the next day. So, I'm tired of this, and I'm gonna cut my hair. I've watched half of a single tutorial, and I'm gonna go for it, because this is annoying. The top is too long compared to the bottom, but I can't just shave the bottom again, and it's grown out, so I'm just gonna... And we'll see how it goes. And if it goes wrong, then I'm the only person I can blame. And also, it's hat season, so if it goes wrong, I just wear a hat. Welcome to my Goshimon bathroom. I have my toilet down here, my toiletries up here, and my sink and my shower right here, so. And we're also not gonna make fun of the fact that I'm using scissors I found at Daiso, or that I'm wearing thermals because it'd be cold. Glasses are off. I can't see any of my mistakes. Actually, you know what? The thermals should also come off because as cold as it is, hair in thermal is worse. Oh, you know the ceiling's low and I can hit it. Okay, so I've watched tutorials, and what they do is they put their hair up in a ponytail and then they cut evenly so that the back is longer than the front, which I think will work for me because right now the front is longer than the back. So if I want everything to be sort of the same length, I'm gonna go up to the very edge of where my short hairs can still be in a ponytail and work from that. What do you think is up here now? Yeah, because this part is just so annoying. See, because like the back part, this is where my back, yeah, this is the back ending. And this is the front. Like, it's so much longer. And I feel like it would be better if it just wasn't. So I'm just gonna, let's see where. I'm gonna go here. Well, it's off now, so we'll see how that goes. On the floor, there's a piece, yeah, that's just longer than all the others. No, it's not. I'm gonna turn the water on and brush it with water. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but it already feels a little bit better. This part is still a bit long, so I think I'm gonna take sections that feel like longer than they need to be. Like, see how the top part falls below where the bottom part falls? I don't want that. That's what annoys me. So I think I'm gonna go through and just snip. And once again, curly hair, you can hide a lot of things with curly hair. So we're gonna be hiding it with curls, which I feel like will be better when it's shorter. If it all goes bad, it's hat weather, so hats as well. That might have been a lot. Oh well. Might turn out a little mullet-y, maybe. Which is okay. It'll be interesting. Brush it again. So like, whatever. And also my sink, the drain popped off, so I have to fix that before I do anything more with water. I think that's good. I think it might be a little bit moldy, but we'll see when it dries-ish. I have half an hour. We'll see later how it looks. It doesn't really matter how it looks now because we'll have to go outside and it's less than freezing, like it's below 32, below 0. So I'm gonna be wearing a hat anyway, especially if it doesn't dry because I don't want that. But it feels better on my head already. So we'll see how it goes and I will update you later. So it's a little bit mullety, which is fine. I can also now part it in the middle, which is okay. I think I'm gonna keep it for a few days and then decide if it needs to change, because you can kind of see how this is so much longer or shorter than this, which when you pull it out, they're all the same length really, but because the longer hair is curled into the bottom and the top hairs and the shorter hair is curled into this part, it kind of is drastic. I don't know if I mind so much, but we will see. It's definitely thinner, it's definitely easier to deal with, and these parts are still like long enough to tuck behind the ears and whatnot, so I think it'll work out and it'll grow out, and maybe I can make some shorter bits up here to sort of even that out so it's not here and here. I'm looking at myself in the monitor so I can see, because right now it's here basically and here. I just have like a little bit up here maybe. I don't know about that. I'm not a hairdresser, obviously. You saw what I did. Yeah, it's not the worst. It could have gone a lot worse. It really could have. Actually, I don't know if I mind it, and when it grows out it'll be better, and then eventually I can go back to home and have someone who knows what they're doing fix it. I don't want to do that here because nobody here has curly hair. Haircuts always look weird the first few days because you're not used to it. I think I'm going to wait a little bit before I fiddle with it some more. I win! Hello, it's February. I'm gonna go through some of the books that I'm planning on reading this month because, well, I'm gonna try to keep myself accountable. The first book, it's the book that I'm currently reading, The Letters of Vincent van Gogh by Vincent van Gogh. I thought it would be interesting to read them. I'm bored. The next book is The Sea and the Jungle by H.M. Tomlinson. It's an older book. It's about 200 pages, so that'll be interesting to read. I'm excited about that. Don't know much about it. It's one of the highly recommended books in 1,000 Books to Read Before You Die, so it's on my list. And the next one is A for Alibi by Sue Grafton. I really like Sue Grafton's Kelsey Milhone books, so I'm excited for that. And I might also read B is for Burglary and C is for, I forget what C is for, but C is for something. And then the final one is Cultish, The Language of Fanaticism by Amanda Montell. I don't have my glasses, I have to get closer to the screen in order to read them. And that is a Storygraph book club book that we read, and then the way that the Storygraph book club feature works is you join the group reading the book, and every time you finish a section of the book or your reading session of the book, you can type out your thoughts, and you won't be shown other people's thoughts until you reach the same part in the book that they were at when they wrote those thoughts, so you'll never get any spoilers, but you can have the feeling of reading books with other people. So I thought I would try along because that is a book that I've been interested in reading. And so those are what I'm going to read in February, and then I thought maybe just share what I read in January, because, well, I read in January, it's only been a month, but I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. So the first one was War and Peace, Leo Tolstoy. It's too long. It's too long, and it is unnecessary. I really didn't like it. It got okay in the end, but I can't tell if that was because it got okay or because I got excited that I was almost done with it. Q is for Quarry by Sue Grafton. I've already explained, I really like her books. That one was interesting and unusual. Empire Falls, Richard Russo. This was a Pulitzer Prize winner. It was nothing like I expected, and every twist made it feel like I was reading a different book, but not in a bad way, in a really good way. So I highly recommend that one. That one, 5 stars. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. That one was another really good one. Some of it made me frustrated, but it made me frustrated because I don't like being reminded that people are people. A lot of the times when I read books, I like to have some escapism, and this one provided some escapism, but it also emphasized the fact that people are people and people disagree and they don't communicate, and it's all very frustrating, especially if you can see all sides of the story. And it was good. It was good. It's a good book, and it follows these people throughout a year. And I was reading the twist when I was in Busan, and I screamed, and George was like, what just happened? because I won't spoil it for you, but I highly recommend this one. This one I was 4 out of 5. Nah, but still very good. Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. It's not one of my favorite Jane Austen books. I really like Emma. I know that that's not everybody's choice, but this one is interesting if you want to read a gothic novel and you like Jane Austen. It's an interesting foray into that. It's also interesting that it was published 5 years after the rights were purchased from Jane Austen. Why purchase the rights and not publish the book? That's interesting. And then the final book I read in January was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. It's not my favorite Gillian Flynn novel. I do really like Sharp Objects and Dark Places, and I do really like this one. This one, though, I hated this book until I got to part 2, and I think there's 3 parts. Part 1, though, absolutely despised it. So this is one where you have to be in it for the long run in order for it to be worth reading, in my opinion. And I think if you've seen the movie, you need to change your expectations for the book, because I was talking with George as I was reading through this book, and he's seen the movie but hasn't read the book, and I've read the book but I haven't seen the movie, so we were discussing bits and pieces, and he was very surprised at the order in which things happened in the book, which makes me question how they set up the movie, because I can't imagine a different series of events that would still follow the same storyline and have the same impact. So I think, kind of like the Percy Jackson things, should separate the books from the movies, but I save that complete judgment until after I have watched the movie, which I don't know if I will. So yeah, that's what I read in January and what I'm planning to read in February. And I will see you guys probably tomorrow when I eat something, because who doesn't like seeing Korean food? I can't believe I'm in 2023, and I also can't believe that I'm in Korea. Like, sometimes it just hits me. The new batch of foreign students is starting to trickle into Korea, I can tell. And I went out to dinner today with George, Miro, which is one of George's friends, and then Miro's 2 friends, one of which is a Korean person, and one of which is an exchange student for 2023. So the Korean and the exchange student, I now know. We've exchanged contact details, so I know somebody here now that will be here while I'm here. Because Miro and George are both leaving. They both live in Switzerland, so they're gonna see each other in school when they get back, which is unfair. Although I do miss my friends back home, so I'm excited to see them. You know what I'm really excited for? Winter to be over. It's cold here. Like I said, the high for tomorrow is 35 degrees. That's cold. I have sweaters, I have layers, I'm surviving. I'm just not thriving. I would really love to not have to wear my long padding every time I go outside. I love being able to go outside and not be like struggling between wearing 2 pairs of socks to keep my feet warm, but then losing circulation because they're so tight inside my shoes, and and so I can't feel my toes. Can't feel my toes because it's cold because I only wore 1 pair of socks in order to keep the circulation, or feeling my toes because it's not freezing and I don't have to worry about the circulation issue because it's warm enough for my feet. I normally wear tights, so that's 1 layer on my feet, and a pair of thin wool socks, and then a pair of thick wool socks over the top of that to keep my feet warm. But then if I put them in my boots, they're too squishy. Like, my feet are too ooh. And if I put them in my tennis shoes, it works, but the cold slowly seeps in through the tennis shoes. The boots are really good at keeping the cold out, except if it's below freezing. Maybe I'm not wearing the right clothes, which is totally fine. I've had multiple people from Finland and Poland and Switzerland say that there's no bad weather, there's only bad clothes. And I'm thinking, maybe if they're right, I don't have the right clothes. If they're wrong, it's just something that they tell themselves to make themselves feel better about living in places with eternal winter. And that's the argument that I have whenever I talk with them. This was a nice chat. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Back to the haircut that I gave myself. Oh, that one might need to go too. I was feeling a bit mullety having a mullet, so I chopped some more off of the back, and I feel better about it. Oh. Now I'm just trying to see. Like, this side is a little bit longer. But if I keep doing this, I'm gonna end up back with the haircut that I had at the beginning of the year. So, yeah, that feels better. There's like 2 hairs here. I'm sure people will yell at me about this, but, whatever. It's my hair. I'm okay with it. Yeah, everything's good. Now, it looks bad because I've been in a hat all day. I can still put it up, It's not as long as it was before, but that's because I took up a significant amount of length. But I'm trying to get it so that when it grows out, it's not as obvious that I had an undercut, because I had an undercut, like all of this was shaved. Now it's very much not shaved, it's all kind of one length. I'm just trying to get it to where when it grows out, it doesn't look like a triangle, or what happened this time where it was less of a triangle and then poof, which was a little bit odd. And I'm not a hairdresser, so I don't know what I'm doing, but you know, this works. I'm gonna put it up now so I don't mess with it anymore. But that's essentially why I'm cutting my hair. The last time when I gave myself an undercut, the very first cut was done by a professional. Ever since then, it's mostly been me, until one time I messed it up really bad and I had to go get help to make it right again. I'm not really afraid of cutting my hair. I used to do it all the time when I was a kid, and I would put all of my hair into a shoebox and put that shoebox different places so that my mom wouldn't find it. It's been a long history of me doing whatever I want with my hair. But yeah, if it can go up, it's good. Even if it's like messy, you know, like if I didn't do a good job cutting it, if it can go up, I can hide that until it either disappears because my hair is curly, or I get to a place where I can cut it and make it look better, or I get to a place where I can have someone who knows what they're doing cut it and make it look better. As long as it doesn't bother me physically. Yeah, whatever. That's basically how I feel about my hair. It's whatever. I am contemplating dyeing it bubblegum pink. Like a pastel pink. Not maybe bubblegum is the wrong descriptor. What is it doing? You can't go through that one. I don't feel like sitting up, so I'm here. I normally get this brand of, well, I don't really know what they are, but I call them rabbit cakes, or like moon cakes, because there's a rabbit on the moon. It says it in English on this package, full moon cake. So yeah, moon cake. Essentially it's pastry, and normally there's strawberry in there. Why? I don't know. I picked this one up, it looked different, but you know, I trust the rabbit with her hammer. I looked at it this morning. Gokuma is a sweet potato cake. It's not strawberry this time. The sweet potato might be better. The problem is I've never seen this one before, and I probably will never see it again. That's the beauty of peony jumps. There's always something different in them. It's also terrifying for someone who likes eating very specific things. Apparently it's wet. The consistency is exactly the same, and I loved it about it. But there's sweet potato in here. That's really good. No, I'm sad I'm not going to be able to find this again. Or you know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I will be able to find it again. That's that on that. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to pull myself together and go for a walk. But until then, Pig and I are going to have a lion. Not like a lion like roar, but like a lion as in, I don't feel like getting vertical just yet. The thing about linguistics is that it all feels made up. That's because it is made up, because language is arbitrary. Have fun thinking about that. It's 1 o'clock. My walk went great. I didn't have ice on me, which is strange considering it's something like 26 degrees outside. Maybe it was just the way I was wearing my mask that one day. Or maybe it was colder that one day. Or maybe I'm warmer today. I don't know. I can't get my brain to brain, so I'm going to take my quiz. Because I have 2 chances. So I'm going to take it so that it's taken. And then I'm going to be done, and I might take a shower, might vegetate for a while, but nothing is getting done in here right now that is productive. So I'm going to do what I need to get done so that I have something done, and then I'm going to move on. Yeah. I'm waiting for something to go horribly, horribly wrong. Woo! Not that far off. 다시. Oh, it's lower this time.
I know that.
You're welcome. Woo.
Maybe I shouldn't do my technique.
No, you should do as hard as you can.
As hard as I can.
네. 에이. 에이.
이런 테마로
Nice. So I may have had a little to drink, and sober me will decide whether or not this ends up in the vlog. We got ice cream and tarts for back home. And there's Jaeger in the freezer, in case we want some more. But tomorrow is the flight, and I'm gonna help George because he has 2 suitcases and a bag, like a backpack, a rucksack. And so I'm gonna help him get there, but we leave at 7 a.m., which means I am staying over. There's another bed. It's over there when he's done packing. It'll work out. That Scooter's alarm has been going off since last night. We were over here and we were watching Dune. We finished it this morning, kind of. But we have ice cream and tarts. Oh, I'm excited. But yeah, tomorrow we leave early in the morning. I drop him off at the airport. And then I'm going to cry. Because, one, it's good to cry too. I'm gonna miss him. He's been the person I've hung out with every day since November. I'm gonna be alone. I have to find new friends. School doesn't start until March. I'll probably see if I can go to Thailand then by myself in between, so that I have something to do that doesn't keep me just in my room alone for a month. Because I'm sad that George left, which he did today. I dropped him off at the airport and I did cry. He couldn't pack a shark, so I have a shark now. There's some clothes that he also could not pack, so I have those now as well, which fit in because they're all cozy clothes that are black. He only wears black and white and occasionally gray and purple. Not that I can say anything because I mostly wear black and white and brown and green. So, fair enough. But I'm sad that he left because I've been spending a lot of time with him. He was the only person sort of left out of my original friends here in Korea. I need to make Korean friends. That would solve all my problems. But I'm sad. Long story short, I'm sad. So I'm gonna go on a walk. I also booked an impulse trip to Thailand. I'll be leaving on the 18th, which is in 10 days. I'm probably only going to bring my backpack. It's also 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 32-ish Celsius. It's currently 27 degrees Fahrenheit, something like -5 Celsius here. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Because if I'm bringing a backpack, I don't want to pack a giant coat, but I want to be warm when I go to the airport and when I come back from the airport. So I'm looking into storage options. If not, I'm gonna say suck it up buttercup to myself and put on layers that I can then pack into my bag when I'm actually in Thailand. Anyway, I'm gonna go on a walk now to clear my mind because I'm sad. I put up the photo booth photos on my wall. I'm gonna go now on my walk and I'll come back and tell you about my mental health when I get back to see if the walk did anything. It's also 3-ish, so I'll get back around 4. I might pick up an early dinner on my way back. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pick up an early dinner on my way back. I went on my walk. It was a good walk. This is a terrible angle. I went on my walk, it was a good walk, and I picked up Lotteria, which, isn't the healthiest choice, but it's quick and easy. So, no. They don't salt fries here in South Korea, which I think is a hate crime against every other country that salts their fries. You can't have salted fries and then come to a country that has unsalted fries and expect to be okay. So there's unsalted fries, so I get the Mexican chili. Problem with this is that it's a very fine powder. You pour it in here and you shake. You can't breathe, otherwise you will inhale it. And like, I don't think inhaling it will do anything bad to you. But the air becomes spicy. Every time. These are the best fries though. Or at least this flavor is. Yeah, that's good. I guess I'm doing a haul now. So I got those fries. I got a cola, which I think is Pepsi from this place. I got a spicy chicken burger. And I got a cheese stick, which I'll eat now because these aren't good cold. Just a mozzarella cheese stick. A plus. Very good. I feel better after my walk. Still sad, but I feel better. Where did my water go? I was like, how can I lose this? And yes, Dad, if you're wondering, this is the same water bottle you dropped me off with. I feel a bit better after the walk. I think it's because I had something to do. I had something to think about that wasn't sad. Although I was listening to a podcast about the Charles Manson. So it wasn't exactly happy times, but it was a good time. I don't think I filmed anything on the walk. I was too busy listening. Okay, well, I'm gonna go back to my podcast. Actually, I might watch a drama. I'm gonna go back to doing something while I eat, and I'll see you tomorrow probably. I went on a walk, I had breakfast, I grabbed myself a drink. I'm not gonna act like it's not chocolate milk because it is chocolate milk, but they call it a chocolate latte. It's iced chocolate milk. But anyway, it's good iced chocolate milk, and I can have dairy here. I'm gonna try when I go back home to have dairy there because I've not had dairy for so long because it gives me issues that the only time I have dairy is something really, really rich, like cheese. There's not a lot of cheese here, and the cheese that is here doesn't bother me. So when I get back home, I'm gonna try dairy, see if it works for me. If it doesn't, then I'll go back to what I was doing. But while I'm here, banana milk and chocolate milk all the way. The book, The Sea in the Jungle, is okay. It moved on from Bugs to being casually racist, and then back to Bugs. And it's not like, oh, it's casually racist, like it's hidden. No, it's blatantly racist, but it's treating it as if it's a casual thing, which I guess in 1912 was an okay thing to do, you know, just in general. But it really made me uncomfortable because, and it's almost as if the author doesn't know another word apart from the N-word and all of its variations to describe people. They're in the Amazon. But it's just, and it's not just racist against black people. There's also a lot of racism against Brazilians, racism against Polish people, Irish people, Americans, which that one's weird to me. Not because I'm American, but because this person is British. They're against Germans. I'm trying to think of all of the people that he slights. Dutch people, Italians. Basically, if you aren't from England, you're not a full person. And it bothers me. And now we're back to Bugs. It was just like a quick jaunt into this person is so blatantly anti everyone except English people. And then we're back to butterflies and beetles and mosquitoes. Like, a woman dies and, oh, she was just Brazilian. Like, what? Anyway, I take back what I said about potentially recommending this to people who like oceans or bugs. I don't recommend this to anybody, actually. Like, sure, it's a masterpiece of travel literature. There's other pieces of travel literature that you can read. Anyway, I'm mad, and I'm gonna move on to Korean. I finished most of what I need to do today, with the exception of filming that is unimportant. Okay, I got dinner, I ate dinner, I forgot to show you. Here's proof I have to wash this and throw this away. I went to Lava. Now I'm gonna take a shower. I'm starting to break out, which tells me my period is close, which is fun, because I'm planning on leaving soon. So, It's 34 degrees outside and snowing, and I'm not entirely positive I want to go on my walk. I should though. It's probably a good thing for me to do. I'm gonna put away, I did laundry this morning, which is why it's 7:30 instead of 7. I did laundry. I'm gonna put this away, or at least hang it up, and then go on my walk, and if I get to a certain point, I can cut through and make it shorter, depending on the weather. That's my plan. I went for a walk. I grabbed breakfast, which is a strawberry smoothie, which is really good. It's a strawberry yogurt smoothie, so it's not, I mean, it's sweet. Everything here is sweet, but it has a tang. I need to take a shower, as you can probably tell. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to do work. I'm working on unit 6 of my linguistics class, which is the last unit. There's a cumulative test thing, which I'm not looking forward to. But if I can get all of this done, then I won't have to worry about it while I'm in Thailand in like a week. So I think this time next week I'm going to be in Thailand. Isn't that wild? First, shower. I'm so cold.